Hello, you guys. Welcome back to As Told by Kenya. In today's video, we have to come and talk about the music industry. You guys know every quarter or so, I like to come and talk about some new releases, some new music that has come out that you guys should be talking about. And unfortunately, in this video, or maybe fortunate for you, there is some drama to come and discuss, and that is what we are going to do. But first, I do have to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Pair Eyewear. If you have seen me out and about, if you have seen me reading as of lately, you will see that I have been wearing my glasses, and my glasses are from Pair Eyewear. Pair Eyewear sent me over a new pair of glasses. Now, these are just readers. I already have my prescription ones, which I have showed you guys, which are the Ella. But I got a new pair, which are my readers. They are this tortoise shell type of pattern. I just think they're so cool. They're kind of hipstery. Like, I feel like it's 2012 again, and I'm giving the girls hipster. But the good thing about Pair Eyewear is if you don't always want to give tortoise, if you don't always want to give hipster, you can put on your top frame rather easily, and boom, now you have these pink sparkly glasses. They are not thick or anything, and you put them on and like no one is like wiser. It's just perfect. It is literally perfect. I love them, and I use these, like I said, to read. My favorite thing about Pair Eyewear is that you can skip going to the store. All you have to do is go over to the Pair Eyewear website. You can pick your base frame, which, like I told you, mine are these tortoise shell ones, and then you can pick the top frames that you want. They also have sun frames, so you can put those on, and all of a sudden you have sunglasses, which I love for when I have the top down in my Jeep. Pair Eyewear is really good for all day. If you want to step out of the house and have on one type of glasses, you can have on your base. Then you can put your top frames in the case, which is really, really convenient. And then if it gets sunny outside, you can put your sun tops on and you are good to go. You have everything that you need. It can stick right in your purse. You can leave it in the car. And that's what I love about Pair Eyewear. It is so much easier than going to the store and having to pick out all different types of things that can really add up after a while. Pair Eyewear is affordable, and also you can customize and get what you want. Pair Eyewear makes it very easy. You can try them on virtually online, whichever base frame that you choose. You put in your prescription and it can get sent right to your door in no time, and you are good to go. Pair Eyewear is just very easy for people who are trying to break into getting glasses, don't really know what they want to do, don't have the funds to get exactly what they're looking for. Pair Eyewear is going to have what you want at an affordable price. So if you would like to try Pair Eyewear, use the QR code which is on the screen, or you can hit the link down in the description and use my code As Told by Kenya 15 for 15% off your first pair. You will not regret it. They have so many options over there for top frames, so many options for sun tops, and even their base frames are amazing. If you don't want all the whimsy, their base frames are perfectly good. Pair Eyewear, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video, and let's get on into it. Okay, you guys, I feel like so much has happened since the last time we talked, and so I don't know what order I want to go in all of this and how to make all of this stuff connect with each other, but I feel like because of when this video is coming out, it makes the most sense to start with Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift did release her umpteenth album. Do I want to see if I can name all of Taylor Swift's albums? Sure. You have her debut, then you have Fearless and Speak Now, then you have Red, and then you have 1989, then you have Reputation, then you have Lover, then you have Folklore, and then you have Evermore, and then you have Midnight, Tortured Poets, the Anthology, and then you have this one. So, like, what number is that? I did all of that just to, like, lose count. But it shows you I can name all of Taylor Swift's albums. I will say, if I wasn't doing what I do for a job right now, which is, like, talk about pop culture, I probably wouldn't. That is an interesting thing about my relationship with Taylor Swift. Before I did this thing online, I did not care about or even know as much about Taylor Swift back then as I do right now. So I will say that. And I probably, if my life would have just kept on going and I didn't come on the internet to talk shit, I probably wouldn't know as much about Taylor Swift, because I feel like it's important to give your history with an artist before you start to talk about, their music. I do not feel any feelings for like Taylor Swift's debut, Fearless, Speak Now. I like our song just as much as the next person. There are songs on some of the Fearless and Speak Now. There are some songs on there that I also like, but not many. That is just that pop country type of thing is not my thing. I didn't like it back then. I don't like it now. I have listened to those albums and I do not like it. I've listened to the Taylor's versions of those albums as well. Do not like the Taylor's versions of those. So then when Red came around, that is when I really was like, oh, Taylor Swift is an artist that like I could pay attention to. Like she could put out music that I could deeply enjoy. And then 1989 came out and I really enjoyed 1989. Now I'm not one of those people who is just like 1989 is a pop Bible. That is not me. I am not one of those people. I'm not going to pretend to be one of those people for you guys' interest. No. That is not me, but I like 1989. And so then Reputation would come out, one or two songs on there that I think are perfectly solid, and then Lover would come out. If you guys have been holding me down since back in the day, around the time Lover came out, I told you guys I was a Lover apologist. And all of you guys, so all of you people who are going to be in the comments when I start talking bad about Taylor Swift albums, you're going to act like you've been around for Taylor Swift this whole time. No. I knew that Cruel Summer was the hit that got away before anybody else did, because Lover to me was a perfectly fine album. Now in today, people like to put too much sauce on Lover. As someone who was there from day one, it ain't what y'all trying to make it to be now. I think because we've gotten some sketchy albums from Taylor, Lover sounds like literally the best album. It sounds like the Miseducation Child, but it ain't all that. But it does have some really good songs on there, and I was always there for Cruel Summer. And I think Lover, the title track, is one of the best songs that Taylor Swift has ever done. I love it. So that was really, really good. But the album that I truly think is like good from Taylor, all the things I'm talking about before, I think are perfectly fine albums. Then when you get to what I think is a good album, you get Folklore. I've always said on any place you can find me, I really, really enjoy Folklore as an album. I still enjoy Folklore to this day as an album. Now, Evermore really wasn't for me. It's one of those things where like I was shocked that I liked Folklore anyway. So then once I liked Folklore, I just didn't need the Evermore, topping. It has nothing against Evermore. I just don't think I really gave it the fair chance that maybe it deserved, because I just really didn't care all of that much. And then you get into the Here and Now, where she has put out Midnight, Tortured Poets, and The Life of a Showgirl, and I think all of those are bad. Like, I'm going full on bad. I don't have anything positive to say about any of these albums. So, let's talk about The Life of a Showgirl. I already came and talked to you guys about my feelings about this album coming out. I was not excited as the rest of you guys, and I'm going to rehash that for the people who did not watch. Number one, Max Martin and Shellback. I do not believe Max Martin still puts out good music. I do not believe Max Martin still produces good music. Somebody's going to be in the comments talking about Ariana Grande. Somebody's going to be in the comments talking about Elisa. Somebody is going to be in the comments talking, and I'm going to tell you you're wrong. Like, I'm sorry. Max Martin is not bringing anything to the stew that somebody younger, brighter, spritier, and with more interesting things to say could bring to the studio. Like, I just feel like he's a dated concept. There are some producers, I always bring up The Dream when it comes to Beyonce. He's problematic as hell, but stay with me. Where like he also doesn't do anything good, but somehow he goes with Beyonce and he's making magic in there. So I was kind of like, I knew it wasn't going to be good, but if it was, I was going to say it's one of those situations like with The Dream where like they give everybody else some bullshit and all of a sudden they get in the studio with somebody and they strike a match. But my issue with that is that Beyonce continues to get better. So of course The Dream would work to Beyonce's level. Taylor Swift was not getting better. Midnights was really, really bad. Torture Poets was really, really bad. So I was like, one person already isn't making good music. The other person is already not making good music. Why would I believe they would come together and both make good music? It just didn't make any sense. The math didn't come together. So when everyone was so excited about her working with people who she worked with when she made the music you guys enjoyed the most, I was just like, you guys this is a false premise. Like, I think you guys don't even even know what you're asking for. And the thing that annoyed me the most about this is that Taylor Swift, no matter what, was going to sell 3 million plus copies this week. No matter what, that is just something that was always going to happen, because Taylor Swift goes into these meetings and she's like, how do we sell 3 million plus copies? So my thing is, if it's already preordained that this thing is going to happen and you're going to put out your variants, and the thing is, I really don't give a shit regardless. Do what you want to do. Why not just like throw everything to the wall? Why not throw everything to the wall and see what sticks? Why not be experimental? Why not do odd things, strange things, work with weird producers? Why not do all of that stuff? Because that is just not in Taylor Swift's nature. And I think right now more than ever, we are seeing Taylor Swift dig her heels in, and she's just not willing to change unless something makes her change. And so it just annoyed me. So I was not excited about Max Martin and all of that. And another thing, this is something that is going to go into the life of a showgirl. You guys have to discuss the Taylor's versions. You have to discuss that when Taylor Swift is singing those old pop songs, so 22, all the songs on 1989, she doesn't sound that great on the Taylor's versions. There is something different about Taylor Swift's voice, and I believe it's simply just age. I say this all the time, and I say this over on Patreon. Taylor Swift sings better than she's ever sang in her life, which, like, you go back and listen to those old records, she couldn't sing on those. So Taylor Swift is a better singer today than she has ever been, and take that for what it is. But that doesn't mean that she sounds better on these records. And so when you listen to those Taylor versions, she just sounds older. She's not able to come to the track with the excitement and the bubbliness and all of that like she used to. And it shows. And so I'm just like, if she's going to make these pop records, look at how she sounds when she's re-recording these pop records. She doesn't sound good. So why do we think new ones she's going to sound good? And everything that I said happened on The Life of a Showgirl. So The Life of a Showgirl leaked on the timeline, because at this day and age, it's really hard not to have your album leak. And the thing that got everyone talking was actually Romantic, because it seemed like it was a diss at Charli XCX. Charli XCX 2 years ago had last year? What year did Brat come out? Last year? Charli XCX had a really big year the year Brat came out, because it kind of like reintroduced Charli to like mainstream online pop listeners. Charli XCX, as someone who has been online me for a very long time, Charli XCX has always had her corner of the internet. But Charli XCX was able to kind of come into the fold as a pop girl, a main pop girl, with Brat, and Brat got all of this acclaim. People love Brat, but she has a song on there which is called Sympathy is a Knife. It's not a bad song at all. I'm not going to go there. By the way, I am not a big Charli XCX fan, and I also wasn't a great fan of Brat, but I do think Brat has some stellar moments on it. Anyways, back to the point. Charli XCX has a song called Sympathy is a Knife, and Taylor Swift took that as a dig at her, as she should have. And so she comes back with Actually Romantic, and it's not good. I want to start there because that's what leads us there. That's what everyone started talking about first. I do not think Taylor Swift has any business coming at Charli XCX, and that is not because I like Charli XCX. I find Charli XCX annoying more than I find her anything else. That is not what I'm trying to say. I think Taylor Swift is too good to throw shots at Charli XCX. I think that Taylor Swift coming at Charli XCX feels like Taylor Swift has run out of grievances. Taylor Swift always has somebody who she can come whack over the head, but now that we live in a world where Taylor Swift is the most successful pop star in the world, she's the biggest pop star in the world, she has the biggest tour in the world, Taylor Swift is liked by so many people, she's putting movies in theaters, Taylor Swift has her masters back, Taylor Swift has no actual enemies. She has no actual enemies, and all of her enemies have like fallen. Where is Kanye West? Where's Scooter Braun with Sydney Sweeney? Like that, none of her enemies are doing well. So therefore, Taylor Swift finds herself in a place where nothing bad is really going on, but she still wants to have that edge. She still wants to have that there's people out to get me. So it feels like she's just like, I got time for Charli XCX today. And so she comes at Charli XCX. I don't personally mind that, but the song gotta be good. The song gotta at least be good, and it's not. It comes across like I say it is, where it just seems like she's uninterested and she's punching down to Charli XCX, because at the end of the day, yes, Charli, if you're online, Charli XCX is heavily, known, but if you walk outside and touch some damn grass, how many people really fucking care about Charli XCX? Not even a fraction of the people who care about Taylor Swift. So it just seems silly. It just seemed really, really silly. And then the stuff she's saying in the song is also just so silly. And I just like, Charli XCX does coke. Next you're gonna tell me the fucking sky is blue. It's just it's just simple. It's just too simple for its own good. So it just comes across as childish. And it's like, okay. And then Taylor Swift has a line where she says Charli XCX coming at her is making her wet. And it's like cringe. It's like millennial cringe. And the thing is, this song could be good. What annoys me about Actually Romantic is just like something in there is like kind of good. Something in there, the idea is actually good. It just doesn't come together to be anything worth its time, and it's no reason why you should go back to it. So that's another not good song from her. My biggest thing about this record, altogether, The Life of a Showgirl, is it simply being boring. It is boring top to bottom. Even if there are songs that you like on this album, there is no reason for you to go back and revisit any of these songs. I talked about this in my video I made about this because I went in on this album on Patreon. So sign up for my Patreon, which is As Told by Kenya, if you want to know my my unfiltered thoughts. But if you take a song like Opalite, which a lot of people enjoy, compare Opalite to any other big pop song from Taylor Swift, and it kind of just doesn't compare. And that's the issue with this album. Even if you were to like a song, and there ain't many to like, it still doesn't compare to the best of Taylor Swift. Like, take something like Opalite and compare it to A Cruel Summer. It doesn't hold up. I don't even think Opalite holds up to Fortnite as a song. And so it's just like, what are we doing here? And then the lyrics are so simple to the point of parody, which everyone has pointed out. I'm not saying anything nuanced there, but like, it's like Taylor Swift doing Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift putting on the show of a Taylor Swift, which somewhere is a concept when you think The Life of a Showgirl, but it just doesn't come together to be anything worth it. If you go on Midnights, and I have not listened to Midnights in a while, but every now and then I'm working out and I'm in a class and a song from Midnight comes on, there's something there. There's a lyric here or there that comes through and you're just like, okay, that's Taylor Swift at her best. And then on Tortured Poets, the biggest issue with Tortured Poets is that it's really long and convoluted and it has no direction. But there are also some songs on there where you're just like, this ain't half bad. This ain't half. You can't say that about The Life of a Showgirl because number one, it's pretty short, and also it's so simple. The production is simple. The lyrics are simple. What Taylor Swift is doing with her voice is simple. And that goes back to what I was saying about The Voice, Taylor's versions to now. On The Life of a Showgirl, Taylor Swift sounds like she does not want to be there at all. She does not want to be there. She doesn't want to be on these records. She's not selling these records in a way that she used to be able to do back in the day simply because she's older. And I've been saying this. The way that Taylor Swift vocals are being produced, it hasn't been good since Folklore. Her vocals have not been produced in the way that they need to be produced. It's just not good. On songs like Wood, fuck off. Like, when I listen to Wood, and I remember listening to it, I was in this room, and it gets to like the gotcha of the song where she's talking about dick. It's just like, fuck off, girl. Like, what are we doing? On a song like Wish List, it's just like, it starts off with her talking about people want Balenciagas. I will say the part of the song where she goes, and they can have what they want, they deserve what they want. That's good. That part is good. There are parts on some of these songs where it's just like, Taylor Swift, that is good. But it completely goes away when she tells me in the next thing she wants the whole block to look like fucking Travis Kelce. It's just like, I don't know, girl. I don't know, girl, what you want from me. And I am not one of those people who believe that you have to directly be autobiographical in your music, but it is a little silly in a world where Taylor Swift has all the money in the world, has all the success, has the private jets and stuff, that she's talking about wanting a simple life with a basketball court in the yard. Like, who is this? Like, she set herself up for this because all of her stuff is usually autobiographical. in many ways. So I'm just like, what's happening here? The song Canceled, I think, is the worst song on this. I don't even think you have to go into the messaging of the song. I just think the song sounds bad. It sounds like something that plays during like a trailer for a new show that's coming out in the fall when you're watching football. That's what it sounds like. It's just simply not good. I don't know what's going on there. People have talked about the interpolations that are going on this album. Yes, it's so like some stuff just seems a little copied and paste, but whatever. I don't want to get into legal boots. I'm not accusing nobody of nothing. What else is on this album? Oh, I don't like the title track, The Life of a Showgirl with Sabrina Carpenter. Do not like it. A lot of you guys like it, and I like that for you, but I personally do not like that either. What else is for real on this album? Nothing worth mentioning, nothing worth going all that into. Oh my gosh, I almost left without discussing eldest daughter. Number one, Taylor Swift talking about being an eldest daughter as she is the child of two. And then the other sibling is a brother. Like, okay, girl, whatever you got. But it just seems like lobotomy core, where like you guys come up with topics on TikTok and like she's just making a song about him and you're supposed to listen to him and be like, she gets me. But there's no real depth. It's just really, really vapid. And I just don't like this album. I don't like it. We don't even have to get into what the hell the showgirl has to do with any of this stuff. The concept, the art, what all of that has to do with this. It's just not a good outing. And this is Taylor Swift's third bad outing. I don't know what is next. I was asking myself what was the point of this album, because I think I can find reason why she put out Midnights and Tortured. I don't understand the reason for this album. It's not like people were begging for a Taylor Swift album. People are saying she's not even going to tour this album, but now that I see Taylor Swift is doing heavy marketing for this album, the point of this album is to break Adele's record. She wants to have the highest grossing first week sales of anybody. And I've always said success is Taylor Swift's Achilles heel. Taylor Swift wants to be successful more than she wants to be anything else. And that has actually been a thing that has plagued her career more than it has helped her career. But the thing is, Taylor Swift has the success. So what's next now? What is next now? I think Taylor Swift believes like she can just course correct. Like, okay, 3 duds and now I can just go back to making good music because people said, hey, Reputation and Lover were bad and then everyone loved Folklore. I don't know, girl. I simply do not know. But this one just wasn't a good one for me. Taylor Swift, I'm not feeling this one. They on your ass, girl. They on your ass for this one. That's the shocking part of all this. All of a sudden, all of you guys got standards. I was expecting people, after I finished it, I'm like, I'm gonna go online and people loving this album. No, y'all were quick to be like, this is freaking awful. So that's all I got for that one. Let's move on to Cardi B, because Cardi B, she released her album, Am I the Drama, and it led to so much drama. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj went at each other for like 4 days straight. Let me start by talking about the music and talking about Am I the Drama by Cardi B. I think Am I the Drama is a perfectly decent rap album from Cardi B. It is not as good as Invasion of Privacy, but here is the thing. I don't think Cardi B thought she was going to make an album as good as Invasion of Privacy. I think there was just like a hump Cardi B needed to get over. The album just had to be fine. I think for the past few years, Cardi B has been putting out not good music. And so a lot of people just thought Cardi B didn't have it anymore. And I think the point of this album was to prove that Cardi B could still be a pop star. And I think Cardi B was able to prove that. It was rocky in the beginning. When she announced it, it was very, very rocky in the beginning. But I think she was able to turn the wigs around. And in the end, it sold 200,000 copies the first week, and I think it's a perfectly decent album. I have my issues with it. I always say I don't think Cardi raps good today as she did when she first came out, and it has that, but I do think there are some songs that are worth the squeeze. I did a whole review of this album over on my Patreon. I do think it's a decent album, but I want to go back to this album selling 200,000 copies because that's what started it all. There has always been a cold war between Cardi B fans and Nicki Minaj fans on like who is the biggest female rapper of like the 2010s going into the 2020s. And so a big part of why people were saying Cardi B didn't put out an album is because she was running from Nicki. She was running from the numbers. And so obviously when Cardi B's numbers came out, whether they were higher than Nicki's, lower than Nicki's, there was going to be a lot of hoorah. I think the thing that set this off the most was Cardi B kind of feeding into it when Cardi B put in one of her little like maybe a Discord or something, she was like bookmark the tweets because they were saying that Cardi B was going to sell a certain amount and it was lower than Nicki, so all of Nicki's fans got really, really excited. But then when a screenshot came along that Cardi B was saying like bookmark all the people talking shit, it kind of riled everybody up. And so this was only going to end one way, and it was going to be Nicki and Cardi B going after each other. I, to this day, don't even fully know why Nicki and Cardi B don't like each other. I want you to know it's actually not about motorsport. Motorsport kind of like started like when the veil was lifted, but these two women were always going to dislike each other. There are just so many there. I could go on and maybe on Patreon. I've already done it. I made a whole video, by the way, you guys, on Nicki Minaj and all of her beefs. But I could talk to you for hours on like why I think Nicki Minaj is really bothered by Cardi B. But in this current moment, it is just down to the fact that one group thinks they are more successful and another group thinks that they are more successful, and they treat this like a football team going back and forth. And now both women have said so many things about one another at this point that now it's actual like real beef. It's like they genuinely dislike each other. Someone said that like them disliking each other this long is almost homoerotic. It 100% is. It seems like these two women are deeply in love with each other. I bet you Cardi B can tell me more about Nicki Minaj than I probably know, and Nicki can tell me more about Cardi B than I would know. I think these women keep heavy tabs on each other and know what the other one is doing. And I also think a big part of this, these women have been wanting to go at each other publicly, I think, for a really long time. I genuinely do. I think they have been wanting to tiff back and forth for a really long time. And this is just all, they just needed that battery in their back to keep going at each other. But I am here to tell both of these ladies, we are exhausted. We are exhausted. I love mess. I love when people go at it on Twitter. I really, really do. And when I clock out, I didn't even care. Like from the jump, I genuinely did not care. Number one, Nicki going off on everybody these days. So like Cardi B is just added to the list. And then like Cardi B was just coming off her announcing she was pregnant, and that caused a whole bunch of hoorah. And so it was just like more mess on top of the mess Cardi B had already started with her saying she was having a baby. I was just like over it. And then because it started with album sales, I am so tired of fans talking about album sales. Back in the day, when I was a stan, we talked about album sales just as much as the next. But like we also talked about music. It blows me how much when I peek over to Stan Twitter, how many people are not talking about music anymore? How many people are literally just talking about Spotify numbers, just talking about who debuted, what's the track, and no one's talking about music anymore. And so it's just also something that just is irritating me in my old age. So I had such a low tolerance for it to begin with. And so these two ladies start going back and forth. You know, Nicki's on her Rock Nation Jay-Z beat. Cardi B, I don't even know what beat Cardi B is on. She's just saying she want Nicki to leave her alone. And so then it quickly turns into they start talking about each other's children. One day I logged on to Twitter at night and they was talking about each other's children down to Twitter. And I don't want no parts of any of that. That's one of those things where it just feels like y'all know too much about each other to know. And that's another thing where stans also are involved in this as well. Number one, let me say two things. Number one, I think people put too much on stans being responsible for Nicki and Cardi. I always hear people be like, gay black men started this beef or stans. I do not agree with that. Look around. Look at everybody beefing. Did gay black men start JT versus Santana? Did gay black men start Meg Thee Stallion versus everybody? Like, no, these people, like, this is like real. These people are starting this stuff themselves. Like, these people are messy. I mean, Cardi B got caught talking shit about Lotto. Like, who made her do that? Who made her do, like, no, they want to be doing this shit. Like, this is just how they are. This is what they want to be up to. And like, yes, the fans play into it, but they play into it like any of the rest of us. We want mess and drama, right? So no, Nicki, like I said, Nicki and Cardi have been wanting to go at each other. There's stuff probably that have happened behind the scenes between the two of them that you guys are none the wiser about, because this is genuinely a beef between the two of them. And the fact that the two of them were like ready to come at each other so quick and looking for, the audience to cheer them on, this is between them. I think they both feed on each other's insecurities. And so it's just one big mess. So they started coming at each other's children. Now, this is where the stands do come in. The stands come up with these narratives about people and their children. And then I think these two people, Nicki and Cardi, were using some of the stuff the stands have been saying about the other's kids and like spewing it at each other. And that's nasty. That is nasty. These children don't have anything to do with it. But also at the same time, they're just trying to get at each other. They're just trying to get at each other any way they can because they deeply despise each other. Cardi's talking about beating up Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj talking about they telling her to leave New York City. And I'm just like, what's going on? Juice WRLD done came in here. Charlamagne done came in this somehow. And it's just all one big goddamn mess. It is just all one big goddamn mess. And I'm just like, it's too much. It's genuinely too, it makes my head hurt. Keeping up with what's going, like, it just, you guys, Cardi B was a young buck when all of this started. Was a young buck when all of this started. And it's just like, y'all just gotta leave each other alone. I just think, like, let this be it. Let grand opening, and now it's grand closing. Like, it's done. It's done. Y'all don't need to go back and forth anymore because it already was ugly, but now it's just getting, like, exhausting. And I know you guys have to be exhausted. Cardi B big and pregnant and going back and forth with this lady, and it's just like, why? Why? It's not worth it. Let's move on to the next thing. Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is going to be doing the Super Bowl. And, I'm happy for Bad Bunny. If Bad Bunny wants to do it, let him go. I don't want to, put his own, politics back in his face. So, if you don't know, Bad Bunny decided not to do any concerts in America because of everything going on with ICE. I don't want to throw that in his face and be like, then why are you doing the Super Bowl? Because it's just like, it would just be mean. He tried to take a stand against something. I don't know. It's just not worth doing. If Bad Bunny wants to do the Super Bowl, let Bad Bunny do the Super Bowl. There's some people being like, we don't care about Bad Bunny, or Bad Bunny isn't famous enough. That's just not for you then. That's just simple. Kendrick wasn't for me last year, so what? I'm not the biggest Bad Bunny fan. Have I been a fan of anybody who's done the Super Bowl under Rock Nation? Rihanna is the only person I've been a heavy fan of. Of course, I love Usher. So yeah, I've always been on the Super Bowl performances anyway, the ones under Rock Nation. But I'm happy for Bad Bunny. I think Bad Bunny is going to put on a really, really good show. I am not personally the biggest Bad Bunny fan when it comes to music. When have I ever talked about Bad Bunny to you guys? Literally never. But I'm happy for Bad Bunny. I think there is a group of people who pay too much attention to low-grade alt-right grifters, the ones talking about not wanting Bad Bunny because he's Puerto Rican and all. Stop listening to these people. They are bad faith actors. They are grifters. They will say anything. They will say anything for a buck. They're stop paying them any mind. Please, literally act like they don't exist. They are pointless. Anyways, that is the end of this one. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.